in the classroom, the group are looking at an everyday task that is challenging for those with reading and writing difficulties: cooking. They are joined by celebrity chef Kevin Dundon.
So Kevin is our guest for this afternoon and this evening. So basically, again, it's all linking up with multiple intelligence in relation to cooking. So it's looking at when I go into the supermarket, how much do I need of this, how much do I need of that? What we said is you need to set out, write it out or think it out in your head, exactly how many am I catering for first, what ingredients do I need, and where do I get those ingredients and work out a budget. And that's exactly now what we're going to do now with Kevin.
Anyways, we've been set a challenge. We're going to come up with 2 courses and cook dinner for all of us. So there's 14 of us. So what we need to do is devise a menu and then figure out how much food we actually need to cater for all of us.
Chowder as a starter and shepherd's pie as the main course. Are people happy with it?
Making a meal involves a lot of reading and writing based tasks. From reading menus and food packages to budgeting and measuring ingredients.
So 56 ounces of fish. Is that right?
Yep, 1.4 kilos.
1.4 kilos, okay. So how much have we got there, Caroline?
48.
48. Okay, so I'm going to put it here in the middle, guys. Got no room at the end. So there's our starter. 48 euros is our starter.
Yeah, basically we've created 2 great recipes, written up the shopping list. We're here to buy the ingredients, find the ingredients, buy it, and keep it in a budget. So it's going to be a bit of a challenge, so it'll be a bit of fun though. What do we need?
We need carrots.
Carrots there. Where are they? 2 packets, come on, Paul.
Many of the group have a routine when shopping for themselves. Shopping in an unfamiliar supermarket is a real challenge.
We have the leeks.
Okay.
We have the
Tarragon, yeah.
Tarragon.
When we were actually looking through the list, Caroline was reading through the list, and I was quite impressed that she could actually read it. And then there was a word beside carrots that said packet. I said, well, we only need 1 packet. She said, oh, I never said that because I couldn't read that. Yeah, but no, but you're pointing it out though. You're pointing out the word though.
Yeah.
Like what does that say?
Carrots.
What does that say?
I didn't know. That's why I didn't say that one.
So you actually memorised the whole list?
Yeah.
Oh. Nice, but you read everything else. This is what I memorised everything that we did earlier on in class of how we wrote it down, and then we just I said, it's amazing how you can have a weakness in some areas, like not being able to read properly, and then have a great memory on the other end. I'd love to have her memory as well. So.
No, we take
so we do the veg first.
Veg first. Is there garlic on there? Is there?
I'll tell you.
It says $5.99. Some people that would find a difficulty in pronouncing the word, putting the word together, would look out for the picture. And I noticed that together for Rose now trying to weigh the garlic, and she actually looked for the picture of the garlic.
I was a bit nervous because I usually kind of stick to the same shop, so I know where the aisles were and I know where everything was. But yeah, I'm doing okay.
Thanks a million. Cheers.
I think they did extremely well, particularly with the budgets. They're very budget oriented. I don't actually know one job that I've ever done has actually come in on a budget, so well impressed.
The final stage in this task is the preparation of the food and the table for tonight's meal.
So we're going to set up you guys down here with the main course and starters up here, so you need your spuds.
Mirroring the theme for the weekend, they get to explore how people use different intelligences as well as learning new skills. The group are brought to a special location, Avoca House, and get working on tonight's dinner menu.
Oh, you got one there, yeah?
The group is split into teams in order to perform the various elements to complete the task: cooking, setting, and arranging. Some of the team are dropped into unfamiliar waters, but others are right at home.
There's nothing I like doing more than flowers, you know. When I'm doing them, I get an inner peace just, you know.
I've never seen flowers being made up like this before, and I'm just looking at the first one. I'd say, yeah, I picked it up already.
At the moment, I was just waiting for it to reduce, the wine to reduce in it, and to just get the carrots to bust into the celery, and they'll be celery in it. There's no celery in it. No. Get the fucking celery.
To my eyes, the way people learn is actually physically seeing what you talk about. So we write it down. Then you physically watch someone do it, and then you actually do it yourself, and then with a supervisor beside you and correcting you. And that seems to stick for me. That's the best way for me to learn.
Yeah, I think you're marvellous. You know, I'm dyslexic,
Visiting pastry chef Louise Lennox also suffers from reading and writing problems.
I was so embarrassed by it. So I think what you're doing is fantastic.
I did take a little bit of will I won't I, am I brave enough, you know, will I be able for it? But I'm just so glad I went ahead and done it. I can't spell, can't write. I can read, but what I can read, it's self-taught. I left school with no reading other than kind of it and like small words, 3-letter words. There were certain parts of school I would have liked, but just when it came to reading and writing, I was just lost. Like looking down a black hole, you know? And then the teachers, they only had so much time for you. And after that, if you didn't grasp what they were telling you, they lost interest. And then you kind of felt that you were picked on because you weren't as quick as the rest of the class. Well, I'm a mother the last 34 years, and I suppose when they be coming in, it was grand for the first year or two. And then when they start getting spellings and that's when the awkward, you know, it kind of got a bit difficult.
I think as kids you don't notice. Like my mum would notice, and then she always had my dad's great. Like he'd always help her, and so we wouldn't notice as much.
In school, obviously, if we needed a letter for school or anything like that, you notice as far as the handwriting was concerned and the spelling, you realise in that sense, you know.
Like she writes down her own versions of, you know, a word or whatever. Like she understands it, and I understand it now. Do you know what I mean? But if I picked it up years ago, I wouldn't make it out.
It have its obvious drawbacks, and especially with helping with homework or anything like that, you know, she'd have to kind of fob you off and pretend that you have to wait for your dad to come in.
Aliens. Do you think we'd put Rocky in there as an alien?
You know, if they wanted probably a note for school or something like that, well, I'd write out the note for them. You know, they couldn't get it from, and maybe she might sign it, you know.
Was always busy putting the children through school, and then it was when they went to work, and like they'd be working there, so I was home for lunch, and I was kept busy that way. The last lad left early in the year, and I still look after my mum and dad up to today. But I needed to give myself some time, just some me time, to get back on my feet, to give myself maybe that little bit of confidence that I need, and to work on that part of my life, you know, and put myself back in the picture.
I didn't think she'd do it. Well, I didn't think she'd go ahead with being on camera because she can be quite nervous, so we didn't think she'd go ahead with it, so it was just real. She does it. It's up to herself.
I don't expect to go back and kind of get master's degrees or anything, but just, you know, the confidence that I can maybe write a birthday card.
Guys, don't forget your spelling. Remember your spelling dictionary there.
I'm at that time in life that I'm ready to learn. I'm actually open to it. Whereas I don't think, had it come into my life last year or the year before, I wouldn't have been open to it. I feel really open to learn, and I really feel I'm going to get a lot from it.
It's Saturday night at Avoca, and after a hard day's toil, the team finally serve up the meal.
Would you like shepherd's pie?
Working as a team, they all had different parts to play, whether it was preparing the food, cooking the food. So then it's back to interpersonal intelligence, bodily intelligence. They're good at their hands, which they had to be in the kitchen.
Compliments to all the chefs.
To all the chefs, there you go.
So I think overall, if nothing else, it showed that they worked brilliantly as a team.
Absolutely.
And these 8 weeks aren't just about reading and writing, it's about personal development. So I suppose if you look at real life, you know, we need the mechanic to fix the car, we need the cook to be good in the restaurant, we need the plumber. But similarly, the intelligence lies in many, many different areas.
It's been a very enjoyable day.
And it was a good day.
Yeah. And I think that when I came out and I saw the table arrangement, I couldn't believe that they came out of the gardens. They look fantastic. So
Happy days. Cheers. Happy days. Cheers.
No.
Cheers. Cheers.
Early Sunday morning, the final day of weekend 4, the group dragged themselves out of bed for an early field trip to the local library in Blessington for their first class on the internet. But there are some empty seats on the bus.
It is a pity because it naturally will break the team a little bit. I mean, we've 11 students. I mean, what we saw yesterday was just amazing, just the guys all pulling together, and then the excitement last night of sitting down at the table and having our meal and enjoying the meal together. So yeah, I mean, these guys are not affected by it at the moment, but the other guys, I'm sure, when we get back to say what we've done, will be a bit downhearted that they missed out, but that's their choice.
The line that tells you what the email is about is called the subject.
After last night's celebrations, Noel, Paul and Keith are missing, and the class begins without them. Keith arrives half an hour later and joins the class.
Well, we finished late last night as well, and I was doing the chefing, and we had to mix the wine with the food. With the food, never got any wine. the wine strayed. That's what to our mouths. And all we were small, was sick this morning, but it won't happen again anyway.
Back in Cork, Keith is involved in the local Celtic Supporters Club. They hold their weekly meetings in the Anglers Sports Bar.
I was secretary that, and then I was dropped down, but I was probably dropped down because I wouldn't be able to do all the writing that Small Willie does, you know. And then I went on to treasurer, and we all get an old chance at it.
Never had an argument amongst any of the lads that go. That's why we kind of keep the group tight. That there's only kind of the same faces nearly all the time, like, and if someone new joins us, we actually take them away for a weekend here.
Yeah, just to try them out.
To try them out, see how they react after 20 pints.
See if he go to bed. Well, normally, that's what after the speaker comes in on a Saturday evening, we all kind of have a drink at the bar together, you know. Like Bob was saying that half of them are coming into the class asleep, you know, on Saturday mornings and Sunday morning. I don't know whether I was getting the blame for or not, but it was kind of pointed at me, you know. I mean, like, I'd be quite used to having a few pints, and I get up at 7 o'clock every morning. Yeah. I mean, it's like the kids there, that's when 5 and 6 years ago, they get a break and they run around the yard and whatever. I mean, we have on a break in the evening. I mean, we start at 5 o'clock on a Friday, and we walk straight through until a Sunday. I mean, we do work hard up there, like for people. I mean, I suppose it's easier, that's what, to educate children than what it is to educate us.
Yeah, reply. Have you read that, Keith? Have you read
what we've learned now in the classroom has been put into practice, and it's brilliant that we had the library to ourselves and you weren't feeling that you were in anybody's way. I think that's what we automatically think. We're in someone's way, or you know, that you can't ask. It's given us the confidence now to use it in our own libraries, to go in and to go online or to ask about the computer. I think I'm a little bit more intelligent than I give myself credit for. When I tell people how I managed or how I, you know, got around the writing and the spelling, they're amazed. They say, but the intelligence it took to get around that. I had to go to the North Pole and back again rather than fill out a form. Because you can't read and write and spell, you're not stupid, because we wouldn't have got here and maybe reared in families like if we were stupid.
If you would like to improve your reading, writing and numeracy, call the National Adult Literacy Agency on free phone 1800 2020 65. That's 1800 2020 65.